welcome to Off the Handle, where we talk to some of the most interesting people that we follow on Instagram and get to know just who they really are on and off the handle. Coming to you from Gadigal Land, I am Rudy Jean Rigg, and today on the couch we have everyone's favourite drummer, the one, the only, G-Flip.
Rudy Jean?
Yeah, that's
middle
my
name?
Rudy Jean, yeah, it's my middle name after my grandma. Love her. Rudy Jean Rigg is my full name. I'm guessing G-Flip isn't yours. I mean, I know it's not yours.
My first name's Georgia.
I like, see now, hang on. No. I can't defend Georgia.
It sounds like you had a mouthful of oatmeal and like porridge without milk in it. And it's like, rah, rah, rah.
Have you tried it in like different accents though? Like
Georgia.
It has
Absolutely Georgia.
It has like a level of like delicacy. Like I was going to say delicacy, but that's not the right word. Like delicateness to it.
It's so femme to me.
To be honest, G-Flip is an incredible name, and the fact that it is like the etymology of the word is in your birth name, right?
Yeah, Georgia Flippo.
Exactly. So
G-Flip's pretty stupid though.
No, I like it.
I feel like now, if you really think about it, G-Flip, pretty silly.
What are you flipping? And this is the thing I Googled. G-Flip does backflip to see if it came up because I was like, are they living up to the name of Flip?
Yeah.
And I couldn't find anything. Now, I'm not expecting you to do it right now, but I'm just curious. Has anyone, A, ever asked you to do a backflip, or B, have you ever completed successfully a backflip?
I think my whole life people have asked me if I can do a backflip.
Okay.
My whole entire life.
Really?
So my last name's Flippo, just whack a no on the end of flip.
That's the most Australian thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, but it's French, so it's like flippo. But like I say, flippo. But yeah, can't do a backflip. I only learned how to do cartwheels like 4 years ago. Cartwheels
are terrifying.
My legs are like this the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a cartwheeler whose legs are like this.
The straighter your legs, like I don't know if this is true physics or not, but it's like the straighter the leg, the faster you flip. It just feels like you speed up and you really like smack back down to the ground, like the straighter the leg.
It's really scary when you are going towards that cartwheel and you know that your next leg has to come over straight. Death stares you in the eyes when you're looking at that grass or that floor. I'm not into it. I'm into a headstand though.
Okay.
I've got a flat head. It's real flat. Want to feel it?
Oh, please.
It's flat.
Oh my God.
Like a square circumference.
Wait, feel my head. Is it flat? Mine's pretty flat.
A little bit more rounded.
Yeah.
No, but actually that's pretty flat.
Yeah, it is. But
Mine's
I haven't
flat.
done as many like headstands as you, so maybe that's why.
I tried to teach myself how to break dance on YouTube when I was like, I don't know, 12 or 13. And I saw a guy spin on his head and I was like, I have to get to that level. I only got to the level of standing on my head. I didn't learn how to spin. It's an advanced yoga pose.
It is.
I do it. I can hold it for like nearly 2 minutes.
Is it calming? Like, is it a calming position for you?
Absolutely not.
No, it's like
the blood rushes to your face.
Okay. Unlike cartwheels and headstands, which are a new hobby
I love
of
that
yours,
this is the first topic we got on.
It has to be. No, but that's the thing, and that's why it's called Off the Hand. The show is called Off the Handle because we're living up to the name, and I appreciate you meeting me there. You shot into the public sphere really after you released one of your first singles. It got picked up by Triple J, and after that, you just went berserk. But you had been posting online for years before that. How was it like that pre sort of quote unquote fame, posting your music on Instagram and it being sort of undiscovered, as it were?
I feel like that's a very memorable part of my life. You know, I was drumming for multiple different bands, touring overseas with these bands.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is something that is not at the surface level of like when you Google G-Flip, like first music.
No. I've been like in the scene playing drums for people for a while. I also used to book shows. I remember I booked Alex Leahy and Tash Sultana.
No way.
Like doing like smaller gigs in Melbourne because I wanted to start like booking and DJing in between shows to get into the scene as well. I tried to attack the industry from so many angles.
You're so smart.
So that I could get in at some point.
Especially with creative pursuits, it's all about the connections that you have and, you know, the community that you're part of. And so being on that sort of like, I mean, would I call it outskirts? No, because it's like very integral to the industry, you know?
I wanted this to be my job so bad that I attacked it from multiple angles. Triple J Unearthed, I was a Triple J Unearthed super user and I would review all new bands that would come in, which I totally like thoroughly enjoyed because I love listening to new music. I'd like sit on like MySpace back in the day and make my own secret record labels. But I would review all this music, and I just loved that I had Max Quinn as a contact at Triple J on Earth. So when I did my solo project, I could email him directly and be like,
hello,
here's my music, you know?
Yeah.
So there's multiple things that I did just so I had so many different ways in. So I had so many chances of it working.
And one of your first ways in, if I can phrase it that way, was your Instagram account, That Blonde Drummer.
Yes.
Talk to me about that, because I thought that was genius.
Yeah, I guess this is another little thing. I went to real hectic levels when I was before G-Flip became a thing. But
I mean, I would still say you go to hectic levels.
I do.
I think it's very on brand for you.
Yeah, being a hectic unit. Anyway, that Blonde Drummer, at the time, management and labels, if people are like blowing up, that's what the labels are after. And at the time, record labels were looking at how many Instagram followers you had. Artists that were getting signed and managed, it was like, oh, I wonder how many followers this random artist has. Oh, they've got 2,000. Oh, this person has 9,000. Oh, maybe. Oh, this person has 23,000. Oh my God, I'll listen to the music. So I had That Blonde Drummer, and I knew that people in the music industry were kind of just looking at the number of followers you had. So I made That Blonde Drummer, and I made drum videos like every day, heaps of hashtags, and until the point that I got something like 15 to 25. I can't remember the exact number.
I don't want to, 23,000's like sticking in my head.
It was something like that.
Yeah.
And then once I got that amount of followers, then I changed the handle over to G-Flip. I changed all the photos over to G-Flip. I started posting singing content, and that's when I send all my demos to people in the industry.
Yeah.
And whether it worked or not, I don't know, but you know, at least out of 10 people I sent my stuff to, 8 people got back to me and wanted to sign me.
Yeah.
And I think it has to do with they stalked me, saw I had lots of followers, were like intrigued, like what the and then they clicked my secret SoundCloud link to listen to, you know, About You and Drink Too Much and Morning and all the songs. And it was just up to if my music was actually any good or not. And my music was all right. So then they were interested in me. And then that gave me such a confident boost, like, holy shit, I'm not crazy. Or, you know, I think you have to be somewhat delusional to actually think it's going to work. But like they like the music, and then, yeah.
I mean, I think that's interesting though, because you say that, like, you know, at the time they were looking for followers, and that was like, you know, your main, I guess, like strategic goal, right? Like back when you were doing that, in terms of like you kind of had an idea of what the industry was interested in.
Yeah.
And I think if we compare that to now, and even like if we look at it as like a linear timeline for you, I think yes, you know, you had a goal of having a certain follower amount, but at the same time, were you aware that you were building a community through that account and through the people that were following you on that journey to getting signed and getting an album out there?
Yeah, well, it happened pretty quickly. Like I flipped it over to G-Flip, and then it was that week that I sent all my demos out, and then I started having meetings, and then I started to talking to everyone. But yeah, within that, I just built a community, I think, because I just told the truth. I get on stories and just talk like I talk to a mate. Social media, like, just helped me at that point. I kind of just, you know, I made my first music video on my iPhone in my bedroom.
It's so good.
And like, I've just done everything kind of on a phone. And I'm so stoked that it worked out for me. And I'm so glad I went to all these little crazy efforts just in case one of them helped get someone to listen to my little demos I had, you know. Going to all those little efforts in turn made it happen for me, I think.
Yeah. It's always interesting talking to, you know, creators and people who are really creative, because, you know, I find that there's often like two general camps, right? The people that are like, oh, I literally just post what I want. I'm super like liberal, like whatever. Like I just like slap it up there. I don't have a lot of like time spent thinking about it. And then there are people like yourself who have a more like, okay, what can I do? How can I like max out on my opportunities? How can I really utilize the platforms that I'm on? How can I grow my Instagram to be something that is getting my music out there, or getting like my art or whatever it is out there? And it is always interesting. And I think it just comes back to the fact that like there's no like one correct answer, and it's just like whatever is going to work for you. To me, it just goes back to like, okay, we have all these incredible tools available. Like we can make reels, we can do carousels, we can do posts, we can jump on our stories, and we can talk to, our community directly and really just kind of funnel our creativity and our passions that way. And to hear that you've really like utilized every opportunity like available to you is just so cool, because I think this goes back to what I think comes across in your content is your like determination and, for want of a better phrase, your authenticity, which is really super evident, especially as a musician, because you have another output for that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, it's so cool. And I know recently you were going to jump on live actually and chat about, being non-binary and being a representation for the community, which shout out fellow non-binary people out there. We love you. And I know that you said that you were feeling a bit lackluster in your energy. Talk to me about how you manage that, being a creator, being creative, making music, putting content, on Instagram. How do you, keep yourself in a good place?
Yeah, it's hard. I've been struggling the last few days because I've got back home to Melbourne and I've had a flight every day or every second day since I've been here, and I've been here for 2 weeks.
Wow.
It's like I'm at the airport so much.
Hey, Gary. Nice to see you. Looking
I know.
Good.
Literally, they're like, oh, you're back again. And I'm like, yes, I'm back again. So, yeah, I think at the moment I'm meant to be off tour. God, it feels like I'm still on tour,
I mean, do we ever really stop being on tour? That's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But, yesterday I was having a bad mental health day. So I just watched episodes of Pokemon because that was my favorite show when I was a kid, one of them.
Yeah.
And it made me feel less anxiety.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Sometimes I want to pull out Sims.
Sims is a good one.
As a kid, I would play a lot of Sims because I feel like, I don't know. I should ask my therapist what that means.
I mean, forgive me
Your
for
inner
maybe
child, soothing your inner child.
That's what I was going to say. I think it's it was such a, that's a happy space, happy memory for you. And you've just gone back there and you're like, no, I need to feel safe. In this moment, I need a sense of safety.
I watched some scary movie with Chriselle the other day, A Quiet Place.
It's scary.
And she stepped on a nail. Do you remember that?
I've stepped on a nail.
It's
fine.
Let's not speak about it.
No,
oh
it's
my
fine.
God.
I'm alive. My foot's fine.
You fully...
Yeah,
oh,
just...
it went in?
Yeah, all the way through.
Ah! No! Ah! Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Oh, holy shit, that's...
Yeah.
Oh my God, was it big? I don't want to know.
Yeah, it was like this long.
Oh, that's hectic. Oh my God. That makes me feel ill. I'm not into standing on nails. Why was the nail on the floor?
Okay, I didn't take instruction from my dad very well, and I went around the side of the house. I stepped on a plank of wood that had a nail set.
Oh.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. It doesn't actually hurt. Don't worry. Listen,
Did you get stitches?
No, I'm telling you it's fine. But I'm not a medical practitioner.
Wait.
But just know that I'm fine. Do you feel a sense of pressure to be a representation, or is it easy, for you to kind of manage? You're so authentic with everything you do. I can't imagine it being something that's super hectic.
There's times where I'm I haven't posted in ages. I want to keep up making content so that, the people that follow me have something and that I don't disappear. So that's always in the back of my mind, no lie to that. It happens. But then there's sometimes I haven't really done too much, or I've been doing so much that I didn't stop to even take a photo or take a video or capture anything. So then I just go into my phone and drop a carousel of photos from the last month or something. The people who follow me are so cool and they really care about me. My post yesterday, I got hundreds and hundreds of people writing to me being you deserve a day off. You don't even need to reply to this message. And I always
put down those drumsticks.
Yeah, I always try to reply to as many people as I can. So I'm love heart then,
Speaking of connection, if you want to keep in contact, you want to connect with us, you can head straight over to our Instagram, and we've made it super easy for you. It's just @offthehandle, and that way you won't miss a thing. So G, every single guest we get on the show, we ask them to bring in a special item.
Yeah.
So I am wondering at this point, what have you brought in for us?
Okay, it's little and it's in my pocket right now.
Okay, without further ado, please.
It's cute.
Is it? I'm excited.
Is it cute?
I don't know yet.
It's a little short.
Hold up. Okay, for those of you who are listening, G has got a tiny little blue furred... Wait, do sheep have fur? The sheep is blue.
Wool.
Wool, yeah. Blue wool, beige face with a little pink button nose.
And hollow eyes.
And hollow eyes.
And this little sheep doesn't have legs, just hooves. Look at its little feet.
Hang on.
It doesn't have legs.
I would say they're legs. Oh, yeah, actually, where's the knee?
Just the
Where's the
hooves.
knee bend?
Wait, do sheep have hooves?
I think sheep have...
They have 2 toes.
They have 2 toes.
Do they?
Is that a hoof? A hoof?
A hoof? It's a hoof.
It's a hoof.
We need to Google it.
Hang on.
Anyway, we need to name her.
I'm going to look up the hoof thing later. Yes, let's name her.
Obviously, Candace.
Okay.
Middle name?
Okay, Candace does look good.
Candy for short.
Candy, is it with a K or a C?
Let's go K.
Okay, K. Candace with a K. Louise.
Yep,
Yeah,
I
3
love
names?
that. That's
Okay.
beautiful. 3 names.
Candace,
of course.
Louise.
The next name could be a hyphen if you want to get real jazzy. What's a first name as a last name?
Oh.
John.
Candace Louise, we're doing a hyphen a name. Let's do
John something. Candace Louise, John Mullins.
John Mullins. Yeah, John Mullins. Yes.
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 Little Candace.
Little Candy.
Little Candy Louise. This is my niece, Betty Moon.
So you stole your niece's toy, is that right?
Toy, yes, but this is one of her least favourite toys.
Right.
So she won't miss it.
Okay.
And I'm so obsessed with little Betty Moon.
What about her do you love? Does she have like this like
Everything.
staunch tenacity?
She loves when you build her a tower for her to smack it down. And then straight away, boom. She smiles at me every morning when I am home. And I'm like, good morning, Betty. And like she just gives me the cutest smile and it makes me like want to cry and like my insides explode.
Oh.
She's so cute. Want to say a little
Okay,
bit?
please.
That little tongue.
Oh. Yeah, she does look like someone who'd knock over a tower.
Loves
Not
knocking
gonna
over
lie.
tower.
Yeah, that's a tower knocker if
Yeah.
I've ever seen one. Okay, and have you taught her any of your music yet, or is that like
No.
later?
I
Yeah.
think my sister might play her some songs, but my unkie name, so that's what I like to call myself is an unkie, not an auntie or an uncle.
That's
but an
cute, I love
unkie,
that.
Aunkie. It's my non-binary name for a unkie auntie.
That's so good.
Yeah.
It works so well.
Unkie Jiggy.
Stop. That's
'Cause
perfect.
I'm G, but my unkie name is Jiggy.
It sounds good. Unky
Jiggy's
Jiggy.
cool.
Yeah.
So I always play Getting Jiggy with it, na 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 for little Betty Moon. She rocks and stuff. It's cool. Isn't it crazy that our body's reaction to music is like moving?
Yeah.
I always think that's funny.
I play a bunch of instruments, but I've never been able to crack the drums. And I think in part it's because I don't have a very good sense of rhythm. Because what you're saying, right, is like, you're going to get with the rhythm and you start moving. Drums is such a physical thing to do. And like watching videos of you on Instagram, like you are putting your whole body in it. It is like a whole body work. Like I really get why like drummers are like often shirtless and they like are often just in like a tank. Is it a really super physical experience for you?
I would hate to play drums in a jacket like this. Like,
Well, how can you move?
I don't like having anything too much on my shoulders or on. That's why I do normally wear like tank tops or just like take my top off. Also, it's weird with me because I'm a singer, so I'm singing and drumming, so I have to keep my torso completely straight to like have the microphone. So my body is moving, but I have to keep this part of my body completely straight so the microphone's directly in front of my face. So I think it's a lot of core strength. You know, so something to help you with that is doing a headstand.
Oh, true. You're so right. Now I understand the headstand thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're like, how can I get creative with my core strength?
Yeah.
Headstands.
Headstand, because I have to, all my limbs are fully moving, but I've got to keep my center
This is why I can't
So-
do it.
so straight.
For people who are kind of, sitting there and they're like, oh, like I really want to show people my art, my music. I want to show people that I can play like the oboe really well, which like is a hard instrument to play, right? Which is why I say it. What would be something that you would tell people who are hesitant maybe to put their stuff up on Instagram?
I think just do it. You know, I never sang in front of anyone until I was like 18, 19 years old. And then I started putting little covers on Instagram, like tiny 15-second clips. And then like getting the 2 or 3 comments back being like, oh, wow, this is really good, fueled me and made me excited to then do it again. And now I'm a singer is my profession. And I've never had any singing training. I just like to do it in private. But posting gave me that confidence to then kick me off to then post a second one, to then do another one, to then be confident enough to share the songs I've been writing in private. So no matter if you're like playing the oboe or you're a singer or you like juggling plates or lighting stuff on fire and juggling it, I don't know, I would just post it because you never know what feedback or who will see it, or just one person, might think it's dope and comment and give you confidence to try it again and try harder. And you might end up finding a community or finding a fan base and that gets around you that fuels you, and then it takes it further and further, and then you end up living your wildest dreams. You never know.
Look, it's no surprise that through your community that you've built on Instagram and the music that you've put out there, you have garnered a incredible platform to be representation as a non-binary person.
Mm-hmm.
What's that been like?
I was very nervous when I came out, but I was greeted and met online with so much love and support. And it feels great to just live as my authentic self and live loudly as a non-binary person.
Do you feel the weight of, well, I guess weight's like the wrong word to say. I mean, in a way it's a weight, but it's like a good weight, right? Like having people come into your DMs and comment on your posts and say, hey, you know, you putting yourself out here is actually really making a difference.
Yeah, 100%. I have lots of people who've contacted me or sent me letters, or I've met face-to-face in meet and greets or in the street. You know, that means so much. I feel like definitely the backbone of my project from the start, G-Flip, has been be the representation I never had. And as a kid, I'd just be glued to the TV on a Saturday watching like video hits and
Rage and
MTV, and I never saw anyone like me. And then, you know, I always grew up and I was like, one day there's going to be a solo singer who's a drummer. And life kept going on, and then it never really happened, and I never saw it. There was Phil Collins.
Oh, legend.
And like more recently, Anderson .Paak.
Yes.
But anyone that looked at anyone like me or wasn't male, I was always waiting for it, and then it never really happened. It got to a point where I was like, oh, I think it's meant to be me.
Wow.
Maybe I'm meant to do that. Maybe I'm meant to be the person that I've gone my whole life trying to find and look up to. So a big part of my project's always been to be the role model little G never had.
I don't know who said it, but there's a quote that I really keep in my mind a lot when I'm doing what I do online, and every time I show up and I represent, you know, our community, and there could be 100 people in the room. There's like a billion people on this earth who can do anything, like, or who can do that one thing that you want. But why can't it be you? As if to say, like, it could be you. Why don't you just do it?
Yeah.
And I love that because it kind of inspires action, and it kind of brings a sense of motivation. Is that something that you kind of relate to too?
Oh yeah, 100%. A quote that I've based my project off is like, create the things you wish existed. Like, I wish my little self had me. I wish I had myself, so I created it. You know, when I was younger, being non-binary wasn't a thing yet. Like, we weren't educated on it.
It was very much in its infancy as like a kind of a popularized term or identity. And so you're right, like, we didn't really have many touch points, particularly in the media or on social media.
I never knew what it was to be non-binary, and I never knew it was a thing. So I wish I could go back to my little self and be like, hey,
this is who you are.
Yeah.
Hello, I am a time
There's this thing called non-binary. That's what you've been thinking the whole time.
Here's a word. Here's a word for it. I've got it for you, buddy. Don't worry.
Yeah, you're non-binary. Because I used to literally like look in the mirror and be like, there's a boy and a girl and I'm in between it, and I'm a little bit of both. And I grew up Catholic. I went to a Catholic primary school and high school. I just imagined me with my brains open, and then when God was creating me, this is my Catholic little world I was in. When God was creating me, they ran out of girl brains, and they were like, we've only got boy brains here. What are we going to do? And God was like, just stuff them in there. So that's why I like literally my little kid brain always thought like my brain was half boy and girl. That's how I explain non-binary, like as a little kid in my head. That's how I felt.
Like if we use your analogy.
Yeah.
Like whoever was making me was like, oh, crud, actually there's no boy brains, there's no girl brains. But there's like that other one over there. That'll be fine. And then they just like shove that in.
Yeah.
So I kind of don't really have that like that kind of girl boy touch point like for me. But like that's the beauty of number one, the identity of being non-binary.
Yeah.
And it's also why representation is so important, right? Because it's 100%. Like you can't profile a non-binary person just as much as you can't profile anyone and reduce them to their stereotypes, which is why being a staunch piece of representation on Instagram is so important because, you know, in a way you're kind of like riding the flag, aren't you?
Yeah.
And I love it because you encourage people to do the same.
It is important that people know if they're trying to educate themselves on people who are non-binary, that every single non-binary person's experience is different. So that's my little kid experience, but your experience is different. Everyone has a different feeling of being non-binary and how they explain it. But yeah, that's just growing up how I felt. It's so funny. The other day I was in the car and I've never really misgendered myself, but I said something in the car. I was like, I referred to myself as a woman and Chriselle just burst out laughing. We were just pissing ourselves laughing because it was like, just is so not me. And people still mess up my pronouns and misgender me, and my family still do, and everyone's still working and learning on it. But I think there was something just humorous that I even stuffed up, and I don't even know what I was talking about. I was talking about something weird, and I was driving, and then I just like stopped in my sentence, and like me and Chriselle were just laughing so much. Chriselle was like, I've never heard that ever come out of your mouth. And it was just a funny like human moment we had.
It's funny. I mean, that's the thing.
Do you ever misgender yourself?
No, because like I've never really grasped the concept of gender. For me, I had a sense of my gender identity when I was like 12. But I think for me, it's a little bit, as I'm learning, a little bit different just because I am like neurodivergent and I am autistic. So I feel like for me, there's a big intersection there in my understanding and experience. But I do laugh. I do laugh when people like misgender me and call like me the part of the gals or the girls or the ladies, like when it's my friends, because I'm like, no, to me, like that's not necessarily like misgendering in the way that I'm like, I know that you know who I am.
Yeah.
And I understand that like this is just the vibe. It's more of like the vibe of the group than like a communication of gender.
Yeah.
However, like we said about people and their experience of being like non-binary, everyone's different. So it is really interesting, but that's what I love. I love that everyone is different. I love the representation that we now are able to get. So before we finish off chatting, I do want to talk about the fact that you are an Aussie living in the US. Can you talk to me, because I've only ever spent like 2 weeks there. What is something that you've really noticed?
Coffee is so different to here.
Okay.
Like, so different.
Let's stay out of the coffee debate because that is dangerous territory.
I don't drink sweet tea.
Okay.
I'm not into sodas that much.
Okay. They've got good juice selection.
Water, basically.
Water and juice.
Oh, they do a lot of sparkling waters like LaCroix.
Yes. Okay. What's your favorite sparkling water flavor?
Pamplemousse. Yeah.
Yes, that's good. I do like a
grapefruit.
like a lemon. They've got like lots of different alternative like lemon flavors.
Yeah.
Always a good time. Key lime. Great flavor.
Like everything they do is different.
But that's what makes it fun.
I love the States, and their toilets are small to the floor, like under knee, like shin area. Some of them.
Would you ever come out with like a patented like G-flip toilet like design?
Oh,
like
100%.
To solve the problem?
A black toilet.
Like a glossy, are we talking like a glossy like granite?
Yeah, with a bidet in it.
Yes.
I love a bidet.
Are we talking like silver or gold hardware? Like what's the flush button?
Oh shit, let's go gold.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too. Kind of Art Deco.
I want black with gold.
Black with gold. Is it like a plain black or have we got like some like...
I think like a gloss.
Like a gloss, yeah.
But I love the States, and I love the weather in LA. I love all their accents, like the southern accent. I spent a lot of time in Nashville on tour, and God, it's fun.
It's so good. Hey, but you do know what is also fun? Having you on the show. So thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come join us on the couch today. It has been an absolute pleasure. For those of you who are listening or watching the show, you can check out G-Flip. Obviously at G-Flip, again, made it super, super easy. One final thank you to Candace Louise. What was it? John Mullins for joining us on the show as well. And if you want to keep up to date with everything Off the Handle, head over to Instagram. Check us out over there. We're at Off the Handle. And until next time, I have been your host, Rudy Jean Rigg, and you have just flown off the handle.